Hey guys, I am super stoked to be continuing with the mental health awareness series. Um, the the guest that I've got today is a great guy. He's a meditation teacher. His name is Light Watkins, and he's a Vedic meditation teacher. He's an author. He wrote a book called The Inner Gym and another book called Bliss More. He's amazing. Hi, Annalyn. Hi, Kirsten. Hi, Lisa. Hi, other Lisa. Hi, Judith. Hi, Ansley. Good to see you guys. So yeah, in here in just a minute, Light Watkins is going to be joining us. So pop in that chat box. Let me know where you're coming from. Hi, Annalyn. Aw, I'm so happy that you're here. All right, Light is coming on momentarily. Let's see, I just sent him the invite. Great to see you guys. Light!
What's up?
Light Watkins, in the flesh, sort of.
How you doing, man?
I'm fantastic. How are you?
I'm excellent. I'm here in Atlanta. I'm sheltering in place in Atlanta.
Oh yeah, that's fantastic. Is that where you're from?
No, it's where my family lives. So, but ironically, I'm not seeing them very much right now either. So I'm just kind of just I just finished writing my next book. So I just needed a place to kind of hole up for a little while, and so it was a great place. I was in LA at the very beginning of quarantine, and that was nice. But then I just wanted to be close to the family, but not necessarily with family day to day. Where are
Yeah,
you?
totally. Well, right now I'm in a hotel room in Kentucky, but I'm
Sounds a little
quarantining.
fishy.
Well, my family's going on a dirt bike trip. We're like a motorcycle family.
You ride
And
you ride motorcycles?
yeah,
Oh wow. Okay.
yeah. Anna Lynn is giving you some Atlanta tips in the chat
Oh
box
yeah. Cool.
there.
Don't order from Varsity. It's not healthy. If you have to tell somebody not to order from Varsity, then probably they're going to order from Varsity.
Yeah. Well, Annalene, you're totally invited to join. I'm in Kentucky. We're going to the Red River Gorge. We're going dirt biking. Um, and this is like the sort of like the backup hotel in case it rains really hard.
Yeah. Are you
So
outside of Cincinnati?
I'm about 2 hours south of Cincinnati right now.
Okay. So you're deep in Kentucky.
Yeah, yeah. But well, I'm maybe about 90 minutes south of Cincinnati, but my parents live in Westchester, which is on the north side of Cincinnati.
Got it.
Hmm.
So
Do
you're
you know
southern.
Cincinnati?
You're a southern boy like me.
Yeah, yeah,
Cool.
basically. And like Annalyn, we're all just Southerners.
Wait, so Anna Lynn is she's from
Atlanta.
Atlanta. Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Hmm.
Okay. I
Hmm.
didn't catch that reference the first time she and I met.
Yeah. So you're writing a new book. So you have two books out right
Two
now?
books out now, and this will
The
be the third.
Inner Gym, and and Bliss More. Annalyn's saying she's a Southern boy too.
Yeah, I saw that. I caught that.
So Inner Gym is now available on My Intent for $11.11. I saw that. Myintent.org is pimping your book out. Pretty hardcore.
Well, Chris Pan and I did a collaboration, a My Intent collaboration. So we took the original book and then we incorporated the My Intent word of the day or what's your word and all of that into, because it was actually kind of an organic, natural fit. So it worked.
Yeah, yeah. And then that one was the first one you published, but then the second one was Random House. Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah. The first one was
Congratulations.
self-published.
That's
The
great.
next one was through Random House. Yeah.
And so you're working on the third one and you're finishing it right now, you're saying, right?
Yeah. This one is going to have illustrations in it. So I finished the manuscript. But you know how it is. It's not finished. We have to do it. I just turned it in, but they're going to kick it back to me with some suggestions and edits and stuff. And then we're working on the illustration part of it now, which I've never done before. So I like a challenge, a good challenge to see how that goes. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, good luck for sure. I mean, for me, the challenge was practicing what I preach, managing my emotional stability when I was working with the illustrators. All four of my books are illustrated.
Wow.
So
I didn't realize you had so many books. That's amazing.
thank you. Yeah, well, 3 of them are coming out this year, so
Okay, so that's why I didn't know, because
that's why you didn't know. Yeah.
wow, you wrote 3 books in 1 year.
Do you know what? I had such a hard time accepting that the offers so close together, but I just felt like I should. And with the pandemic and everything, I feel totally good about the decision. It feels like all right on schedule. One comes out next week, one comes out in August, one comes out in September. But the first one is a guided journal. So it's only about 15,000 words with like blank journal pages, you know?
Was this like a 3-book deal, or is these 3 different deals with 3 different publishers?
3 different deals with the same publisher.
Okay, so they complement each other, then I'm assuming, these books.
Yeah, they work nicely together. One of them is Christian though, and the other 2 are not.
You're doing like a Christian meditation book?
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic! That's going to be huge.
Well, that's the guided journal. So
Okay.
it's like a Bible passage, a prayer, a meditation, and then journal prompts.
Nice.
I love it. I'm like really happy with it. Really happy.
You obviously identify as a Christian, because I didn't know that about you.
Yeah.
Makes sense. You're in the Bible Belt, Kentucky.
Yeah. Yeah, I love the Bible, and
you're like a low-key Christian, man. Normally if someone's a Christian, you know it. Kind of like if they're vegan, you kind of know it after about an hour. But
yeah,
you and I have never really hung out.
No, yeah, we're hanging out now. I think this is our first time hanging out.
Yeah.
Okay, tell me about your 3rd book.
So I've been writing these daily inspirational emails for the last 4 years. Mm-hmm. And this book is a compilation of the greatest hits of those daily emails.
Cool. And so is it like a calendar, like with
No, days? I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to do like a 365-day thing. I know that's kind of like the obvious direction to go in. Right. I wanted it to be more like a magic. What is it called? Those magic 8 balls. You remember those?
Yeah, like an oracle book.
Yeah, that you could shake up and you can get like answers to your things that you're thinking about. So I wanted it to be just like different. It's 108 different like stories, all with different perspectives on, but they can apply to multiple different kinds of situations. So I wanted you just to crack it open and land on wherever your eye goes, and just read. It's like a little short, like a minute long. Read the story, and maybe give you some additional perspective on whatever you're going through in your life.
Yeah, I love that. They call that bibliomancy when it's like cartomancy or like necromancy. So like necromancy is like talking to the dead for insight. Cartomancy is like using tarot cards. Bibliomancy is like flipping through to a random page in a book.
Wow, I'm going to write that down. Hold on. Bibliomancy?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll use that for my... That's why I love doing interviews and podcasts and stuff, because, stuff comes out that you didn't think about as you're describing it. Mm-hmm. And then you can use it for the rest of the interviews. And then you sound smart,
Totally, yeah.
So
and just enough people will know what you're talking about if you use it.
And I'll be like, yeah, this is, I don't know if you know this is bibliomancy,
Yeah.
It's when, taromancy is when, yeah.
Yeah. Cartomancy is what they call it.
Cartomancy.
But yeah. Taromancy probably is a word there too.
Wait, it's cartomancy, and then what's the other one?
The other one I said was necromancy, which is like when people talk to spirits. So that might,
So necrophilia, is that from the same?
Yeah, root? Yeah. So philia means love, and necro means dead.
Did you take Latin in school?
I did, yeah.
All my friends who took Latin, they're so good with vocabulary. They can break anything down.
My book, I did do a 365 book. That's the next one I have coming out. It comes out in August.
Yeah.
And I like that idea too, like your approach, but I did decide to make it calendar based, essentially because I was having a hard time with the publisher trying to figure out how to organize it, and they wanted to number them. But I was like, if it's numbered, it feels like it's a program. Like you got to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, But they didn't agree with me. But we still decided to do a calendar.
Who's your publisher?
Rockridge Press.
Okay.
Rockridge. It's a smaller publisher.
It's no Random House.
Well, I think sometimes with smaller publishers, you tend to have a little bit more creative control.
No,
No, that's not okay.
not
That's
with
not your
this one.
experience.
Yeah, that's not my experience. Not with this one. Yeah, the thing is, they are. It takes a while to get the specific concept down, and then once the concept is down, they like don't want to deviate from it at all. And so like, but when you're writing a book, you start to develop a different relationship with the content, and you know, so it's been pretty challenging, but it's been.
Yeah, I advise people, man, self-publish. It's not even, you don't really need to go with a publisher these days.
Yeah.
And you have so much more control if you're willing to put in the work and invest in getting things professionally done. Just self-publish your book, and that way you can
Right.
just do whatever you want with your book.
Right.
I'm
And
so
then
glad I had that experience for my first book.
yeah, and you were able to really release what you wanted, and then you leveraged it to get a great book deal with a top tier publisher, which is like, that's as good as it gets, really. Random House, I don't think it gets any, but I mean, that's all anyone could ever want. Like, couldn't tell you a better publisher than Random House, so congratulations on that.
But even still, man, even like, thinking of it in that term, I get what you mean, but is it better to be with a big publisher where you're kind of like assembly line process, or is it better to be with like a small boutique outfit where you can try new things? I mean, I don't know. I mean, but on that side of things, like the Random House, definitely they have so much volume that I guess they can take more chances than a smaller publisher who's
right. That's the thing. Mine is like they're like a tech startup from NorCal, and it's not a tiny company. There's like 300 employees, but and they have thousands of books, but they're very much like the algorithm says it should be more like this,
That's not very inspiring.
No, it's like a total. I've had to like, whew, I've had to like practice what I preach. It's really, really been a really interesting experience, But I'm learning a lot, and I'm really happy with the books. I really am.
It looks great, and it seems like it's doing really well.
Yeah, the first one is like really doing well. It's consistently. I try not to look at like the Amazon rankings, but someone like put that in my mind, and now I like check periodically. It's been consistently like in the top 5,000, 10,000 on Amazon, which is, I guess, strong. I think that's a strong book. But like, yeah, anyway, so it's like against my own advice. I tell people, don't look at it, never look at it. Don't, but I still have that, like, that's like one of my problems where I like have like the overachiever consciousness,
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of par for the course in America, right? I mean, I think we all have that to an extent.
Yeah, you really do. You're a total overachiever. You're killing it. Tell everybody a little bit about The Shine. So you've been doing The Shine, which is amazing. You have Daily Meditator, which is a really great account. And your account is like super consistent aesthetically with your content. It's like very deliberate, very specific content. So you're super precise and very professional.
Well, I was telling someone a story recently about my childhood. I have 3 brothers, and we're all very close in age. And my dad would leave to go to work for the day, and he'd come home in the evening, and we'd all be watching television at night in the family room. And inevitably, at some point in the evening, and this is before like social media and all of that, I'm in my 40s, so my dad would say, he would call on me to go in the kitchen and make him a snack. And the snack he always wanted was a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, right? Alabama, typical.
Sounds good to me. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. So it would be frustrating because he would always ask me to go and make him the sandwich. And meanwhile, the other 3 brothers, who, again, they're all my age. It's not like one of them is 3 years old. They're all my age. One is older, 2 are younger. But he would never ask them to make him a sandwich. And it finally dawned on me why he would always ask me to make him the sandwich. It's because I put so much care into the sandwich. And after even knowing that he was asking me because I put so much care, I still continued to put so much care because I have this thing with quality. And, you know, so the point of the story is I've had that for my whole life, that element of consistency and quality. And so I've never really been all that concerned with making a lot of money or trying to be successful. I just bring quality to everything that I like, that I do. And I honestly, I won't do it if I can't bring a level of quality to it. But I also like experimenting with different things. And that's one of the reasons why I've had 5 different careers, is because if I'm no longer interested in something, I'm okay with leaving it and then going on to something else. I've been teaching meditation longer than I've ever done anything else, though. And so, yeah, I love creating quality experiences for people. So in terms of, you know, my social media presence, I don't really see it as a expression of my personal life. I see it as a platform to help people and to help inspire people, because I've gotten so much out of sending those emails and stuff. So one of the things that I wanted to get better at was video. I wanted to get better at expressing through video, because I've done the written thing for many years now. So I just wiped my whole, you know, Instagram clean and just started posting. I'm on a video a day program now. So it forces me to have to think in terms of video content and what do I want to express and how can I help people with that. So the Shine is an extension of the meditation and the inspiration, because I wanted to create a social experience for people who were like me, in the sense that they don't necessarily want to go out to bars or to clubs or around a lot of people who are drinking, because I stopped drinking when I was in my mid-20s. So 20 years ago, I stopped drinking. And, you know, I don't know, do you drink?
Mm-mm, no.
So it changes the social dynamic, you know,
Right.
changes the environments you choose to go into. And it's like, I still like socializing and I like being around, you know, adults. I just don't want to be in some sort of alcohol driven environment. And so that's what the Shine was created to do, was to bring people together around content that left you feeling more high, naturally high, but not in that corny, airy fairy, you know, Venice kind of way.
Oh, Venice.
Hey, look, I lived in Venice for many, many years, but I'm just saying, no patchouli, no like take your shoes off, no, you know, nothing expected. It's just, we're gonna get together, we're gonna have we're gonna watch like a TED talk. We're going to hear some amazing live music. We're going to meditate. We're going to eat together, and leave feeling good, feeling better than we felt when we arrived. So I started that 5 years ago, and that's been happening ever since then.
Yeah, I remember the first couple, maybe not the first couple, but earlier on, we did them at Full Circle. We did a couple.
Right. There was some Full Circle.
Yeah.
Shines.
But at Full Circle, we really liked to do the patchouli barefoot.
Yeah. But the venue was really nice, and I loved how central it was to the West Side. Right. But then we kind of opened it up to all of LA, and we had to go more central than the heart cities.
Totally. And yeah, and you've done it in New York also.
Yep.
And did I see that you're going to be doing them online now?
We're trying to figure that out. We're working with Chris Pan and My Intent he's a big fan of the Shine, and he's been doing these weekly events online. So we're going to be collaborating in that regard as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's cool. So when's the next one? Fabiola is asking.
The next one is going to be in about a week and a half. It's the end of this month. And it's going to be online. It's going to be on Zoom, I think.
Okay, so everybody make sure you're following Light Watkins.
Yes, follow Light Watkins.
You'll put it in your stories or something there?
Of course, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Stories. Yeah.
Cool, yeah, I love that. Okay, so it's Mental Health Awareness Month. Okay, wait, what is Annalyn saying? What made you want to spend your life doing these beautiful things for others, Light? She has a
Well,
crush on
it's partially selfish because I get so much from it. You know, when you give so much, you get a lot, and I realize that that's the secret to abundance and fulfillment is just to give as much as you can from a place of fulfillment, and you get even more in return. So
me.
that's one of my central messages is you have to abundance has nothing to do with how much money you have in the bank and everything to do with how much fulfillment you have in your heart. And,
Mm-hmm.
and if you have enough fulfillment, you can experience the ups and downs of life, and you'll be fine.
Okay, that's beautiful. You also mentioned that you had a couple careers before you became a meditation teacher.
Yeah.
And you grew up in Alabama, so I'm assuming you didn't grow up meditating.
That would be a good assumption. Normally assumptions aren't good to make, but that one's pretty solid.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, there are more snowstorms than meditators in Alabama when I was growing up. And so, yeah, before meditation teaching, I was teaching yoga. I was a full-time yoga teacher in LA for many years. And before that, I was in the fashion world. I was a model. You've modeled before, right, Ben?
Yeah, but
So I was living in New York, and I was doing that whole thing, and modeling took me all around the world, and that was fun. As you know, while it lasted, people talk crap about it, but actually, I got a lot from it. I got a lot out of the travel and meeting different people, and I learned a lot about the world and the way the world works through that industry.
mm-hmm.
And then before that, I worked in advertising. And there was a stint where I did a little bit of, I was like a creative. I was doing street photography, and I was doing design and web design back when Dreamweaver first came out. I was like really big into that. And then as a side project, for a period of time, I had a board game company where I was creating board games and launching them into the world.
Cool.
So yeah, I've been in a lot of different things over the years.
Yeah, I really like that. I feel like as a meditator, we talk a lot about like neuroplasticity, and you hear that kind of stuff a lot. And I think for me, I feel like you and I actually have a lot in common. I really like to hear that you've done those different kinds of things. And I think it does make you more relatable and more effective as a meditation teacher.
100%.
Yeah, and obviously you're very successful. People love meditating with you. People love learning from you. You write beautiful books. Can't wait for the next one. When do we know when the next one's coming out? Did I already ask you?
Well, you know how it is. When you turn it in, it's like a year from that point. So probably next spring it'll come out, or maybe hopefully next summer at the latest.
Okay, cool. And so, is there something called the Bliss More app?
Yeah. So at one of the shines in Santa Monica. I was there. I was like, being the host and going around and welcoming people and telling people where to set up food and stuff like that. And this guy comes up and taps me on the shoulder. He goes, "I want to show you something." And I was literally in the middle of I had like 5 things that I was doing. And I was like, "Okay, what do you want to show me?" And he pulls out his phone and he shows me what looks like the cover of my book on his phone. And he presses it, and it ends up being an app that he created based on my book. So it wasn't something that I commissioned. It was something that he did because he was so inspired after reading the book and getting so much from it. He said, "Oh, we need to make sure that other people have access to all things like Watkins." So, my daily emails are in the app and all this other wonderful stuff. My 21-day challenge is in the app. So yeah, he created that as a gift to the community, which I thought was really, really amazing.
Yeah, that's cool. So it's a free app, Bliss More app.
It's a free app. Yep.
In the App Store that we can all get.
Yeah, but it's meant to be a companion to the book. So
right. So get the book.
Get the book, and then however you can go to the library and check the book out, and then the app will make a lot more from there.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Yeah. Love it.
Do you have an app? Is there
I don't have an app. No.
You need an app, man.
Well, maybe
you need to add one more thing to the to-do list.
I know. Yeah,
it's like 3 hours of your day.
Oh, that's a lot. Yeah, no, I would really, I really resonate with what you're saying about trying different things, and when one thing starts to feel less interesting, that, you know, another thing sort of starts to come in, you know. And I do kind of see that process from advertising, from creative advertising into modeling, into yoga, into meditation. It's actually a more logical app than not app, logical process. It actually kind of all makes sense, you know.
Yeah, especially in hindsight, right? I mean, because
Mm-hmm.
you know, you can definitely see threads of connection. I mean, if it wasn't for modeling, I wouldn't be into yoga, because I was literally going to the gym every day for modeling, and that's where I saw a group of these really beautiful women going into this yoga room every night. I didn't know what that was. I was literally just going because there were like a bunch of little Anna Lyns walking into this room with these rolled up mats. I was like, where are they going? Oh my God, those people, they look so healthy. They're glowing. And that's how I got into my very first yoga class. I was literally doing shoulder presses. I remember it like it was yesterday. And I just walked in just being curious and partially driven by hormones. And that's what had happened.
That's
And then the
cool.
rest was history. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. And so are any of your brothers meditators? You said you got one older, two younger brothers?
You know, it's funny. No, they're not. Um, one has read my book, or has read both of my books, and the others haven't. Um, you know how it is, man. I mean, maybe you
Yeah,
don't know how it is, but my
I
family,
do. I have four brothers.
yeah, my family, ththey're not into this kind of stuff.
I have
It
four
is.
brothers. We were raised meditating. My mom did
His mom
yoga.
was a teacher.
Yeah, yeah, and she introduced it to
Was it
us.
TM that you guys were practicing when you were growing up? Oops.
No, it was a mantra-based practice, but it was not through that organization.
Okay.
So yeah. And Elaine says you're welcome
Yeah.
for the people like her that got you into yoga. For her people.
Right. Mhm.
Yeah, but yeah, actually, yeah, my brothers. I think one of them says that he read my book.
Yeah.
You know, but there's four of them.
I was at, you'll get a kick out of this. I was at my brother's house, you know, hanging out before the pandemic. And he's got four kids, wife, my mom lives there. And I'm just chilling out on the sofa. And I turn around and I was like, they had four of my books stacked up as a lamp stand. That was the stand for the lamp. None of them read the book, but it's like
Mhm.
right there as a lamp stand on the shelf. So
Yeah.
that's the usefulness that all of the sweat and the tears and the blood that I poured into that book, it gets in their house.
Yep, I so relate to that 100%. I went to, my mom's a chocolatier, so she has a chocolate shop now. And I was at her chocolate shop just recently. Someone came in. She was like, "Oh, you're the meditation teacher. Oh yeah, I follow you on Instagram. Blah blah." My mom has an Instagram, whatever. And my mom goes, "Yeah, and he's got a book, and it's on Amazon, right?" I was like, "Mom, yes, it's everywhere books are sold."
Right.
It's like actually a real book, whatever.
What's
Yeah.
also interesting about writing books, especially if it's not a fiction book, right?
Mhm.
You inevitably weave in some of your own personal stories. And you know, when you leave home, when you graduate, in America at least, when you graduate, you're like what, 17, 18, 19 years old, you leave home, your family that you grew up with, they don't really get to know you as an adult beyond whatever they saw you experience when you were a teenager or a kid.
Right, right.
But it's the adult stuff that typically makes it into the books, you know, the stories from my life. So it's interesting because strangers who have read my books know more about my adult years than my family does,
Mm-hmm.
because they haven't read any of my books. Because I don't
Mm-hmm.
go home and talk about some obscure little experience that I got some big lesson from, you know, but that's all that kind of stuff is in my book. So I was thinking about that the other day, and how interesting that is, that people come up to me in Whole Foods and they say, you know, they make references to obscure things, and I'm like, how do they know that about me? Oh, I forgot, I put that in my book. but it's something my mom would never even know to reference because she has no idea that it actually happened.
Yeah, that's hilarious. Yeah, I totally relate to that, like 100%. Well, Light, the time is flying by. I could hang out with you for another hour. Um, so it's Mental Health Awareness Month. What's your tips? Any tips for cultivating mental wellness?
Other than meditating.
So meditating, huh?
I was hired by this company to come and give a talk. They literally flew me to Spain. You know, we want you to talk to these management consultants. There's going to be 1,000 of them. We want you to come in and lead a meditation and talk about meditation. The only thing is, we don't want you to mention the word meditation because it turns people off. So, yeah. So, anyways, mental health to me is associated with meditation, obviously. But in addition, assuming that you guys already have a practice, I would add to that. You know, I think gratitude is one of the more underrated daily practices that we take for granted, especially in you know, pandemics, because there's so much in the news and just in the media in general that I think we can focus negative attention on, you know,
Right.
what so and so in the White House is not doing, or you know, how the pandemic is negatively affecting this group of people. And so I think in these kinds of situations, it's more important than ever to place our attention on what we're grateful for, because it does fill you up inside. And eventually you can, just by making an intention to find gratitude in even in the moments where you feel like there really is no reason to be grateful here. If you can extract some sense of gratefulness in that situation, you eventually will train yourself to find it anywhere. And then it'll be very hard to have days where you feel off, and which was what we call bad days, I guess.
Right.
You feel off for the most part. I mean, obviously, if you're experiencing, you know, some sort of chemical imbalance, life is hard. You know, things can be challenging, and within that darkness, within that despair, what's been shown is that just finding something to be grateful for, or having a prompt that can help to initiate a gratitude exercise, it can help to change the biochemistry, even if it's just for 5 minutes, to give you a little bit of a lift, a little bit of a boost. And then it becomes a numbers game after that, where you can eventually get to a point where it's just happening, it's firing on its own.
Right.
So
right. Becomes the default.
Gratitude. Yeah. Because the thing with gratitude is, you know, if you want to learn how to meditate with me, you're gonna have to pay me like $1,000 and come and spend all this time with me. And you know, but gratitude, you don't need to pay anybody. You just got to open your eyes, and you got to open your heart, and you can be grateful right now for something. You know, even if it's as just practical as getting out a sheet of paper and a pen and just writing down what are you know, challenge yourself. What are 20 things I'm grateful for today?
Right. Right.
And try that every day. Just do a gratitude list every day.
A lot of people recommend gratitude. Bob Proctor does I don't know very much about his work, but I know that I met him once, and there was an affirmation he gave that I liked. Like I said, I'm not very familiar with the rest of his work, but he said if you don't feel grateful, to start to say, I'm so happy and grateful that. I'm so happy and grateful that. And then just start to say it and start to name a bunch of things. How many can you name? And that's it's like a good affirmational type of gratitude practice. So, well, thanks, Light.
Hey man, thank you for bringing me on. I really had fun time chatting.
Yeah, let's hang out again sometime soon.
I would love that.
Yeah, and thanks to everybody who watched. Make sure to go follow Light Watkins. The Shine is happening here in like a week and a half. Make sure to check in on that and get his first 2 books, Inner Gem and Bliss More. And then, hey, get ready. And here in about a year, we've got Light's Daily Dose of Inspiration coming out.
When are you back in LA?
I'm back in LA pretty much whenever I want. What about you?
I don't know yet. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I have a place out there, but it's just so crazy out there right now with everything shut down.
Anna Lynn,
Anna
when are you
Lynn,
back in? When are you back in Atlanta to see your family?
I think she was just in Atlanta really recently.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, let's stay in touch.
I
Thank
would
you all
love
for
to.
being here. Thanks, Anna Lynn, for keeping us entertained.
I know.
Dude, Light, so great to connect. I think this was the most we've ever spoken. So nice to get to know.
I miss your hugs, man. If you guys haven't had a Ben Decker hug, you do not know what you're missing. I mean, he is the
Oh,
warmest, sweetest, and the soft beard hair and everything. It's just amazing. Cool.
I was just about to say that. I need a Light Watkins hug.
I give good hugs too, I have to say.
Yeah, they're good. They're
I
good.
was in the redneck Riviera.
She gives great hugs too.
I didn't hug her because we were social distancing when I met Anna Lynn, so we didn't get a chance to.
Oh really? Oh yeah, we're old friends.
I hope hugs don't go away. I'm fine with not shaking people's hands, but I actually love hugging.
Oh yeah, hugs are not going anywhere. Yeah, they're back like ASAP.
Yeah.
ASAP. 100%. I'm with you on that. All right, I love you, Light, and I'll talk to you very soon.
Take care.
I love you. Thanks everybody. Bye bye. See you soon, Light.
Bye.